Welcome everyone to another malt review. Here we have the 2022 release of the Bunnahabhain 12-year Cask Strength. I recently reviewed the 2021 release, and it was good whiskey, but it wasn't quite to the level I expected. I scored it an 80, I believe, out of 100. I was hoping to get a little bit higher in score with that one. This 2022 release is priced fairly in the UK at about £75. You take out that, it becomes about $75 plus shipping to bring it to the United States. Not quite out here yet. So the 2022 release is bottled at 56.6% ABV. Without further ado, this has been breathing for at least 30 minutes. And this one is very different. Very different from last year's release. Clearly, they are focused more on rich sherry casks and quality sherry casks. I've been very pleased with Bunnahabhain in general going here in 2022, and this fits right in. It is just really rich chocolate, rich raisin, dark raisin, prunes, Persian dates. If you've never tried Persian dates, you would have to go into like an international market to get them, but they are on another level. Very rich, very sweet, very dark, chewy. There's a fudgy element to this. The high ABV really brings out that rich chocolate and fudginess. Chocolate covered almonds, molasses, caramel, dark caramel, cinnamon and nutmeg. Really reminds you of a very rich sherried Glendronach from a few years back. It's got that kind of quality to it. And I wouldn't be surprised if blindly you told me that that's what it was. Just great quality. Very enjoyable. On the palate. At full strength. Big sherry, big chocolate, leather, oak spice, sandalwood. I don't know about sandalwood, but a little sherry spice, I should say. Not sandalwood. Cinnamon spice, clove, molasses caramel coming through. The dried darker fruits. The raisins that I mentioned, and the prune, the dates, really rich. An almond note comes through, but everything's just kind of chocolate covered, very rich. I keep using the word rich because it's a really rich whiskey. You're gonna have to like that style. You're gonna have to crave that style. It is around Christmas time and the holidays, and it's just very fitting. This whiskey, since I've had it a few times before, takes water really well. It is 56.6, so I added 4 drops of water to this, which actually brings out Oloroso kind of goodness. It brings out some red fruits. And it makes everything just a little bit brighter and better, in my opinion. On the palate. Milk chocolate. Chocolate covered almonds, chocolate covered raisins, but less intense with water. The water just makes it just dance a little bit better on the palate. The mouthfeel is great. You get leather on the sides of your mouth and in the back. Cinnamon clove, caramel molasses. The nose and palate just kind of go hand in hand. I'd say on the palate, you did get a little bit more of the sherry spices and leather on the palate, but overall tends to match pretty well. I mean, this is a big difference from the last year's release, which I thought was less Bunnahabhain-y, not as intense with the sherry, not as quality with the sherry, and I also felt like the ABV, the ethanol, was not nearly as well integrated. This one being bottled at 55.1, so this one being 1.5% higher, yet the quality is on another level compared. Yeah, just a different, such a more of a modern sherry style, but just doesn't have that rich, gooey fudginess. It's got more of a ginger style, a little bit of pencil shavings. It's not a bad whiskey at all. It's just what you expect from the 12 amped up to the next level is exactly what you're getting here. And over here, it's kind of like, just get the regular 12, there's no point. And it's just a little bit different in style in general. Lighter in style, younger in taste, not as oily and rich on the palate, less chocolate, less sherry. Not bad by any means. But this one right here is the clear winner. Scored this one an 80. I'm going to score this one an 87 out of 100. And it is an absolute recommended buy. If you like rich sherry, if you like those older Glendronachs, if you're a fan of Bunnahabhain, rich sherry, Bunnahabhain batch to batch tends to vary. I've noticed lately the latest batches have been very good. Of the 12 and 18, they've improved better than what they were, let's say, since they changed the labels. Everyone talks about how good the older Bunnahabhain 18s and 12s were. And then they changed the label, for example, on the 18, they changed to the blue label, and it's not as good. But lately, they've been getting better and better and better, it seems like. I know batch to batch matters. You might get a batch it's not as good as a reviewer is saying necessarily, but that's the name of the game. But with this 2022 12-year-old, it's a recommended buy. And I kind of want to back up of this as well. Because I just don't know what the quality is going to be going forward. Bunnahabhain being right now just coming out with the goods. Loving the 12, loving the 18, liking this 12 cask strength. Can't go wrong. So, yeah, 87 out of 100, 7 points higher from last year's release. Big difference. Big difference. Let me know if you've tried this in the comments below. And we bring out reviews every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And we'll see you soon for many more. Slaunch.